So today we're going to make something called a thumbnail sketch. So when you want to work out a design for something, instead of having to do it on a large sheet of paper, you can do something a lot smaller. And as you're working out text, this can be really, really helpful. So for my first thumbnail sketch, I'm going to just take and draw a rectangle on my paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, so this is a thumbnail, okay? And so in here, I could work out any sketch for any art idea that I have. Now for this one, we're learning how to do text. So let's say I want to do the word peace. The first thing I need to do when I'm gonna do a word, and I wanna work on my layout, is I need to first count up how many letters there are. So this word has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters. And my center letter is the A, okay? So I'm gonna need 5 spaces no matter how I lay this out. So let's say I wanna put it on a slight curve. So I would take and draw the curve that I want, okay? So I would draw the curve that I want. I would wanna make sure that it was symmetrical and the same on both sides. Okay, so this is where I want my letters to go across. Now I've got my 5 letters. I know that the A is going to be in my middle. So I find my middle point and I'm going to put just a line where I want my A to go. Okay, now on each side I need to have another space because this is going to be 5 letters long. So my E will go there, my P will go there, my C is going to go here, and my E right here. And I can look and see if I like that layout. Okay, so now I can go ahead and lay in my letters. Now if I have a specific lettering style, I can, or if I just want to first just go ahead and get it sketched in to see if I like how it's going to work. So my A is my center letter. I've got my E over here, my P, my C, and my other E. So I can look and see if I like that, and if I do, I can go ahead and erase out these helper lines. So they were just there to hold the space for me. Okay, so now I can take and play with any kind of lettering I want. A really easy way to do lettering is to actually just drive around it like if you're in a car with your pencil. So I drive around my letter. I could take and then put in a center space, and then I erase out that center letter. So that's one way to make a letter, and I could keep going with that all the way around. So I could just take and drive around. So they would call this bubble lettering. And this is an easy way to get some fancier lettering. Then I erase out those center parts. Now I can take and make these letters fancier if I want to. I could grow things, I could make things bigger. Maybe I'd want to take and do some shaping. So see how I could take and make a letter fancier just by adding on some shapes. So I could kind of grow my letters out. I wouldn't have to do it to all of them if I wanted to, or I could keep totally doing it if I wanted it to have kind of like an interesting bottom shape on all the letters. So you can see how you can take and build, shift, and change letters even after you have your first original letter layering down. Now I can take and add color into these, and that'll help get rid of some of the little bit of line work that I have happening here. So I'm kind of changing out my letters just a little bit. And I could keep playing with that. I could do different things with those letters. So that would be one style. Another one that lets me just have a quick little look at what I might possibly have. I could do another one. I would just make another rectangle, another thumbnail. Now for this thumbnail, let's say I want to do it at an angle. And let's say this time I have a word that has an even amount of letters. Let's say my word is calm. So with this one, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. I would have 2 spaces on my middle. So I would find my middle point, and then I would come to each side of it and put in 1 space and another space. And then I would do the same thing for my last 2 spaces. So you can see how then I could work out any kind of lettering I wanted to, okay? And you can use the font worksheet to decide what kind of letters you want, but you could see how we could easily start to get our letters in there. Now, it can get a little bit trickier. Let me make another thumbnail here. When you've got a bigger word. So let's say our word is laughter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters. That's a little bit more challenging. I could do it at an angle, I could do it curved, I could do it straight across. Let's have this one, I'm going to do this one straight across. So I would take and make my line, and I would make sure that I was parallel to the bottom edge of my paper. So see how this is parallel to this and parallel to that, okay? And now since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters, the G and the H are my middle. So I would need to come in and make my mark where my halfway point is. Now I'm going to put a letter on each side, and this time I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. This letter is bigger, okay? So I'm going to need 3 spaces on the side of my G. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 spaces on the side of my T. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now I'll be able to go in You'll see how this lettering lets my word fit in there perfectly.